because I am his, he is all the more mine. My beloved in Hebrew, it literally means my beloved is to me because he gave himself to me. So I have to give myself to him. My beloved gave all that he had for me. There is nothing in any faith on earth, in any religious system, in any philosophy, there is nothing that approaches this. There is no such thing in any faith of God giving his life for us. Only the gospel of salvation. Only that. And that's the ultimate sign that you've been apprehended by God, is that you give yourself to him. Not once a week, not in some prayers, not in some time in your day. That's what we try to do. It's like, but that's not it. See, one of the keys here, first of all, you think, well, what is this? But is that works? I mean, wait a minute, we can't work to do something. That's wrong. We don't work to get something. We don't work for our salvation. Well, of course not. Salvation is free. But believers have this unbiblical notion that works are bad. Works are not bad. Bad works are bad. Good works are good. But then what we think, well, no, but what is it? But we works, no works. You cannot do anything to get salvation. Then, but there's more to it than that. The man who found the treasure in the field makes a purchase. I mean, each one is showing one side of salvation. Did he buy the treasure? No. He bought the field. The treasure wasn't part of the price. He bought the field. The treasure came free with the field. But he still had to make a purchase. Salvation is free, and yet if we have salvation, it causes us to pay a great price. But it's out of free, it's out of love. And the more that we give, the price is the price of the disciple. If there is a cost to discipleship, you don't do it to get God's love. God already loves you, but God's love causes you to do that, if you really have it. But then there's more to it. As you do those things, as you bless God, as you react to God, as you do these things, it actually unlocks more blessing. So in the sense, Paul could say, I was apprehended by God, and yet I am going to apprehend the prize. In other words, it goes both ways. You don't buy the treasure, but there are things for you to do in your life that actually release treasure in your life. The blind man example. The blind man was healed because of the grace of God. But he had to do something, not to earn salvation, but for this to be. He said, go down in faith, go down to the pool of Siloam. He did it. If he said, you know what, I'm not going to do it because salvation is by faith and not by works, so I'm not going to do anything, he'd be disobeying God. Yes, it is. It's given by freely, but it is still precious, and it causes us to live a precious life. And by living that, it actually unlocks more blessing. Example, I'll give you another thing. The Bible says, forgive, and what's going to happen? You're going to be forgiven. You say, wait a minute, that's not biblical. Well, it is. It's in the Bible. Forgive. We say, wait a minute, I'm forgiven anyway. No, but it nevertheless says, if you don't forgive, you're not going to be forgiven. Is that a work? Well, it's God's work in you, but if you have been forgiven by God, you're going to forgive, and then there's release of blessing in your life. It is also true. There is, it says what you did in this life is going to count on that day of judgment. But you did it out of grace because you gave all. If you give all, because he gave all. The people in the parable, what do they do? You can only give what you have. And the only thing you have is your all. And so God calls us to do. There may be things in your life, there's something in your life. There are things that may not be happening in your life because you're not doing what God told you to do. You want to argue grace. Listen, the fact is, God's in charge, but if he's telling you, if the heart is leading you to do things that you're not doing in God, do it for your own blessing because it releases something. You're not earning the blessing of God, but you could be freeing it up because there are things in your life that could be holding it up. Some believers, they use God to get riches. They use God because God is the way to get prosperity. They want something from God. And by doing that, they're really avoiding the relationship. It becomes mechanical. I did this, so God has to bless me. No, he doesn't have to do anything. That's not what it's about. It's not about what you get from him, even though he blesses you. It's not about what you get from Messiah. It's about Messiah himself. He didn't just give you things. You know, he could have just done the gospel and not go to the cross. He would have given things or given blessings, but he didn't just give blessings. He gave himself. What is the gift of God? The gift of God is God. And so it's written, love the Lord your God with all your heart. And we think, okay, heart, mind, soul. Oh, yeah, but it's not just saying heart, mind. It's saying each time it says all. All of your heart, all of your mind. All. The key is all. So this is as personal as it can get because he didn't just give. If he gave something to us, we can say, okay, we can relate to God by giving things to him. And that, he gave himself. That's marriage. That's intimacy. You don't just, when you get married, you don't just give things. You give yourself. The treasure. What is the treasure of, what is the pearl of good price? There's no greater treasure than him. The amazing thing, God is the gift of God. God was not content by giving you $1 million, giving you $1 billion. That's nothing. He gave God to you. And that reveals a thing about us. When you relate to God, you go, what do I have to do for God? What do I give you? I'll give you this, I'll give you that. If God, what was his gift? His gift was him. What's your gift? It's not just what you do for him, it's you. That you become the gift. Because he became the gift to you, you become the gift to him. There's an expression, when people seem to be stuck up with, filled with themselves, well, he thinks he's God's gift to the world. Well, you're supposed to live like that, as if you were God's gift to the world. No, I don't mean that I mean real. A gift. In other words, if God gave himself as the gift for you, then you give yourself as a gift to him. Means you don't just not only give to God, but you become a gift. How do you become a gift? You become a living, walking gift. Means whatever I am here on earth to bless. I'm here to bless God. I am a gift to God. I'm going to live my life as a gift to God. Is that prideful? No, it's not. It's God in you. I'm a gift to God, and I'm going to be a gift to everybody. I'm going to be a gift. I bless them. I give myself to him. I give myself to, you think, well, it's to give up this. It's not just about giving up. It's about being a gift. It's a joy to be a gift. It's a joy to be a gift to God.